every country, electoral systems are designed to reflect the reality of the land. Nigeria's is no exception. When the architects of our current electoral system designed our current electoral law, they had our diversity in mind. Many aren't aware that our general election is not a winner takes all, but a winner of 24 states, or a minimum of 25% of 24 states over 36 states. We have dissected the numbers, the various states' electorate, and the candidates' likability, winnability, and probability. After doing so, the chances for LP's Peter Gregory Obi, NNPP's Rabiu Kwankwaso, and PDP's Atiku Abubakar looks bleak. Elections in Nigeria are not won on social media. We have heard this statement so many times, but this could not be further from the truth. In the 2015 presidential elections, registered voters were just under 67 million, and turnout was just about 44%. That is, of the 67 million registered voters, only about 29 million turned up to vote. Of these 29 million, President Muhammadu Buhari garnered just 15,424,921, whilst former President Goodluck Jonathan lumped just 12,853,162 votes. If democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people, one can question the validity of winning just 15 million out of 200 million as inconsequential. The calls for the populace to turn out to vote is echoed all the time. If you don't come out to vote, you will have another inconsequential representation of Nigeria. In other words, President Muhammadu Buhari won just 8% of Nigeria's vote, yet he leads 100% of Nigeria. This is no democracy, in my opinion. But to be fair, it is not President Muhammadu Buhari's fault. Moving on to the 2019 presidential elections, this time the registered voters tally was higher, 83,344,107, but turnout dropped to just under 35%.
When you come into the place,
This time, however, his vote total dropped. He, President Muhammadu Buhari, garnered just 15,191,847 votes, a drop of over 300,000 votes. His rival Atiku Abubakar performed slightly poorer than former President Goodluck Jonathan with just 11,262 votes, 978. The cycle continued. Just under 30 million out of 83 million voted, and President Muhammadu Buhari took home again just 8% of Nigeria's vote. Yet again, another inconsequential representation. Interestingly, President Muhammadu Buhari bettered his performance in the Southeast from 198,248 votes in 2015 when his popularity was high. Despite Obi teaming up with PDP's Atiku, Buhari doubled his numbers in the Southeast to 403,248 votes. In fact, he scored 25% or more in 3 states in the southeastern Nigeria, the first time in his career of running for the country's top position. Is Peter Obi really a noisemaker, or are his supporters empty vessels? As of the time of posting this video, INEC has recorded 96.3 million PVC registration, an increase of over 12 million. Going back to Peter Obi being the social media president, let's dissect this a little more, shall we? We have seen a wave of young people taking part in Nigeria's presidential election like never in our contemporary history, with the vast majority of them clamoring for Peter Obi, the Labour Party presidential candidate. Bear in mind that in Nigeria's median age is 18.1 years, with 52% urban population and a whopping 60% being under 35 years. Only 2.7% of our population are over 65 years. Let's put this in numbers, shall we? What that means is 2.7% of 210 million gives you just 5,670,000 people. That's the number of Nigerians who are over 65 years. The overwhelming majority of these young people are on social media, and they made up the overwhelming discrepancies of those not turning up to vote. However, this time around, all indicators are pointing to a willingness to vote by young people. If this were to translate to reality in the 2023 elections, Peter Obi could do what none has ever in the history of Nigeria.
That's real. Nobody has been giving shishi to collect. Nobody has been giving 1 to be here. We are all here voluntarily. Nobody has been bribed. Nobody has been bribed.
Those reverberating the social media president mantra should better think twice. Something is happening to Nigeria that may just take everyone off their seats. A new political character is being formed. Adjust to this or regret forever, post-February 2023. Remember at the beginning I said Obi, Atiku, and Kwankwaso chances to Asarog looks bleak. Let's dig into this, shall we? Our polls conducted between late November and early December 2022 put Obi ahead. But note this, please, ahead in popular vote count. In other words, the number of people saying yes for Obi. In the northwest and northeast geopolitical zones, there are 13 states: Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara, Katsina, Jigawa, Kano, Kaduna, Yobe, Bauchi, Gombe, Borno, Adamawa, and Taraba. Except for Taraba, give or take Gombe, Obi was barely making up 5%. If you deduct 13 states from 36, you will have 23 states. By that number alone, Obi has already lost the election, even if he were to win every state in the South, regardless of the popular vote he amasses. Further to the obliteration of Obi in the Northwest and Northeast, Obi's performance in the Southwest was equally or thereabout trailing in the Southwest, except for Lagos and maybe Oyo. Our polls predict that Obi won't make 10% in Ondo, Ogun, Osun, and Ekiti. This further reduces Obi's state tally. In the North Central, his chances in Plateau and Benue seem very promising. 25% in Nasarawa and Niger is very debatable, but Kwara and Kogi cast mixed outcomes. However, by these alone, Obi cannot cross the line. Obi, based on our polls, will win all Southeast and South-South states. That is 11 plus Plateau, Benue in the North Central, where we think he would also win, and 25% in Kogi, Nasarawa, Lagos, Ondo, and just maybe Niger. That will leave him at just 16 states, far off as a rock than when he started. Atiku's dilemma is also bleak, but better than Obi's. Our polls predict a less than 10% throughout the South-South and Southeast for Atiku. That is already 11 states lost. In the Southwest, Atiku could make 25% on 2 of 3 states. The same applies in the North Central. In the Northeast and Northwest, however, we predict a possible 25% on each of the 13 states. Still, that brings him to 18 or 19 states, way short of the 24 required. Kwankwaso's reality is the bleakest based on our polls. Kwankwaso could carry Kano or guarantee his 25% there. He will have some numbers in neighboring Katsina and Sokoto, but that's it for us. So his chances are next to none. Tinubu is the master of all of this. We predict a Tinubu coming first, but short of overall majority. He will win all 6 southwestern states in a landslide except Lagos. He will also make up 25% in all northwestern and northeastern states except for Adamawa and or Taraba. That's already 17 states in his pocket. Then, in the North Central, he's sweeping Niger, Kwara, Kogi, and Nasarawa, leaving him with 21 states. In the South-South and Southeast, Tinubu, based on our polls, won't make 10 and 5% respectively. Still, he will come first, and PDP's Atiku second. Obi and Kwankwaso will both be eliminated. It is important to point out that this prediction is based on our polls and reality on the ground. However, if young people were to turn up in their numbers as predicted, like in Niger, Kogi, Kwara, Ogun, Osun, Gombe, Taraba, Bauchi, and Kaduna, this could help Obi cross the line, or at least make it to the second round. If you like what we do, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and other platforms. We are an independent media company focused on Nigeria and its affair. We have a weekly talk show in the open park of Jabi Lake and Park, Abuja. This will be posted on our YouTube channel once a week. If you'd like to take part and you're in Abuja, send us an email at info@bantupage.com. Don't forget to subscribe to be notified every time we bring out contents like this. Thank you.